GameStop is on a tear again. Here we go again. Oh man. I woke up this morning. First I checked with GameStop. It was at $230 pre-market. Now it's at $225.84 at the moment that I'm talking right now. Here we go again. And you know, one thing, why am I on a Reddit post? The first thing I did after I woke up, I Googled GameStop news. And I couldn't find really anything of relevance because this is new news and we need, in a 24-hour news cycle, I should be able to Google something and find news that exists from, I don't know, an hour ago, even at 5 a.m. Eastern time. But no, I couldn't find it. And so then I went to Wall Street Bets, I went to GME, and what do I find? Well, here's a post. An interesting post that I'm like, yeah, exactly. What is going on right now? What is going on? This GameStop's at $225. How many of your friends do you think know about it right now? And how many of your friends knew about it back in January when all that frenzy happened? Like literally all of my friends knew about it. How many of them know about it now? I would guess very few, less than half, honestly. So this post really resonated with me. A very short post here. Not a peep from CNBC, not a peep from The Fool, not a peep from Fox, not a peep from the Wall Street Journal, not a peep from Forbes. Remember these institutions going forward, and remember, they do not have your best interests at heart, ever. They will endlessly promote their masters' agendas, and they will never influence you to act in a way that will benefit you. All aboard apes, rocket gorilla. That's exactly how I feel right now. Why are they not reporting this? Let me tell you why. Mission accomplished. That's why. In January, when all this madness was happening, Melvin, whoever else, Citadel, they were set to lose. They were caught unaware. They were set to lose billions upon billions of dollars. And now they've hedged themselves and even maybe they've positioned themselves to go along for the ride. I don't know. But as far as the damage is concerned, whatever happens this time, this is my guess. Like, there's going to be losses. They know that there's going to be losses. Like, that's guaranteed. But instead of it being Armageddon, it's like they're prepared to take the hit. Maybe it's been spread around. I don't know. But if there was really as much danger for them as we thought there would be, then CNBC, The Fool, Fox, Wall Street Journal, all these places, they would be talking about how awful Reddit Wall Street Bets is. But that's not happening right now. Now, does that mean that we're not going to see this infinity glitch? I don't know. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that they have put in place the systems needed to protect themselves from their own destruction. And how have they done that? They bought lots of calls, out of the money calls. They did things. And so are they going to suffer? Yes. And I have articles, an article in particular coming up describing how much they suffered yesterday. But whatever. As far as an economic collapse is concerned, I don't see that happening right now. Reddit is up huge pre-market. And you know what else is up? The Dow, the NASDAQ, even though the NASDAQ has been bleeding like crazy lately, the S&P, everything's up. So maybe Armageddon is prevented. Maybe, oh man, I'm fired up right now. And take everything I say right now with a massive grain of salt, because this is so obnoxious. All right, moving on. DFV, oh my goodness, DFV. He posted yesterday, if you didn't notice. And, everything that he did was just absolutely epic leading up to January. The fact that he was on Wall Street Bets, that he was posting on the internet, that there was one comment in particular. It's like, everyone thinks I'm crazy and I think everyone is crazy. It's one of these, if the world is against me, I am against the world type moments. last April when he bought into this, like it was clear as day for him, and he saw what was coming, and no one else could see it. And so he bought in. He bought in, I think, $50,000, made an initial $50,000 investment turn into $50 million at the peak. Now he's at $40 million. And the most amazing thing about this isn't that. It's the fact that he doubled down his shares at $38 a share. Is that not unbelievable? He doubled down at the bottom. And now his gain yesterday just on his shares was $5.676 million. And as of right now, pre-market, he's another $3 million richer. What an absolute legend. If somebody were to make a compelling argument that DFV is a time traveler, I would believe it. It's amazing right now what he's done. His legend, it's out of this world right now. So props to DFV. I was not thinking of buying in at $38 a share. I did my measly $10 a day reinvestment into GameStop to bring my cost dollar average down from like 104 to 101. And here comes DFV literally doubling down. It's unbelievable, guys. This is history right here. I can't wait to see the movie. I hope they cast the most beautiful man alive to play DFV in this movie. So anyway, the articles that I did find, look, March 8th, 2021, 11:07 a.m. Eastern. This article is 18 hours old. This is ancient. But what is it talking about? GameStop stock is flying again. The transformation is on the way. This basically announced that GameStop tabbed Ryan Cohen to chair their new committee geared towards transforming the retailer into technology business. The stock is soaring. Everything in this article is something that you already know. So, hey, why don't we move on? Reddit Raider favorite GameStop soars on latest Cohen push. Now, it's the same thing in this article, except there's some interesting things that we're talking about that's worth talking about here. So, Ehor from S3 Partners, who got a bad rap wrongly, and shame on all of us for just coming down hard on Ehor for sharing facts and sharing numbers. But he shared some interesting things here. So Monday's rally came despite short interest being near the lowest level in at least a year for GameStop, but not for XRT. It's massive on the XRT ETF, in which GameStop is. I don't know if I said that sentence right, but anyway. Monday's rally came despite short interest being near the lowest level in at least a year. Roughly 1/4 of shares available for trading are currently sold short, according to data compiled by S3 Partners. That compares to a peak of more than 140 in January. And conveniently or inconveniently, XRT is short 140% right now. So where did they go? They just went to XRT. He says shorts will continue to be squeezed out of their positions as GameStop's stock price continues to trend upwards, said Ihor Dusanowski, managing director of predictive analytics S3 Partners. Short sellers are down nearly $6 billion in year-to-date mark-to-market losses. Now, here's the interesting thing, including $609 million in Monday's trading alone, Dusanowski said by email. Game on. GameStop's market value jumped to $13.6 billion as retail investors praised Cohen's move on social media sites like Twitter and Reddit. The swing in the retailer's size is still a far cry from the $33.7 billion value it hit on January 28th when it briefly became the largest company on the Russell 2000 index. So, fourth day of gains results in a 65% climb for the retailer, compared to the broader market's roughly 1.3% decline. Monday's jump came as trading volume roared back with more than 62 million shares changing hands. Volume was almost double what had been seen in the past week. So updates, share movement throughout. Okay, we'll see, because I'm not seeing many updates, and we are up 16% pre-market, $226 as I'm speaking, and very little, not a peep from the shills, CNBC, Fox. This is a bipartisan effort to not talk about GameStop. Why? Well, here's another reason why. They don't want to create a frenzy like they did last time. Because if they create a frenzy, there will be no buying restrictions this time around. So if they create that frenzy, this will only perpetuate the inevitable from happening. And as I'm speaking, my thoughts are evolving. Forgive me. But man, I'm just so frustrated. It's a new thing. It's not the same thing. It's a new thing. And here we go. I would love to be talking about GameStop nonstop right now, but I can barely find any news from outlets. And so what are we going to talk about? Well, you know, if you've been watching this channel long enough, you know what we're going to be talking about next. Okay, rest of the day, Bitcoin. Guys, Bitcoin is poised to break out. I am so willing to bet that we have crossed 50,000 for the last time. We are what? All right, here's an exercise. Bookmark this moment right now in the video, and come back to it. What do you think? I am asking you. What do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to be in May of this year? I'll let you pause. I'll let you think about that. All right. Here's the deal. Here, I am willing to bet right now that the number that came to your mind will be higher. The number that came to your mind will be lower. Whatever you thought of, it will be lower than what the price of Bitcoin is in May. This thing is poised to shoot off like a rocket. Again, this channel is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research before investing your hard-earned money. But this thing is poised to shoot off like crazy. And there's so much I want to share with you guys. I'm just, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do it all. But here we go. Norwegian billionaire shareholder letter is the year's most bullish Bitcoin article. Norway is in. This is the first Nordic country, so Norway, Finland, Sweden. This is the first major financial investment from an institutional standpoint in a Norwegian country. So I talk a lot about how mass adoption is coming, has to come with the S&P 500, with publicly traded companies, and how we're barely at the tip of the iceberg. And that's just in the United States. I mean, China is flipping out right now. India is flipping out right now. There's so much institutional FOMO that is coming in our direction that we are at the beginning. We're at the precipice. We're at the beginning of this massive run that is going to be unbelievable to your eyes. Your mind will be blown as these institutions wake up and realize that they absolutely have to get in. I'm not even talking about retail right now. I'm not talking about you and me. I'm talking about companies who their fiat currencies are going to melt. They're going to die. And if they do not have Bitcoin, and in particular Bitcoin, they are going to suffer tremendously. So here we go. Yesterday, I had a strong feeling that a new institution was going to announce that it is adopting Bitcoin as its treasury reserve asset. Today and early this morning, my prediction came true. What are the odds we get a new institution announcing they've added Bitcoin to their treasury reserves tomorrow or this week? Feeling bullish AF. This morning, a subsidiary of Norwegian holding company Aker, CT, announced that it had accumulated 1,170 Bitcoin and that it will be investing in Bitcoin-focused companies. One can assume that those Bitcoin are now tucked away in deep cold storage as it plans to hodl for the future. And that's what they announced in this tweet. Today, we announced the launch of CT. We are a new company in the Aker group, and we will invest in exciting projects and companies throughout the Bitcoin ecosystem. Bitcoin is our treasury asset. Our first purchase was 1,170 Bitcoin, and our strategy is to hold on for dear life. They have bought 1,170 Bitcoin. They have no intention of selling. None. Not now, not this year, not ever. They are holding forever. And that's the difference between now and that's everything that we're talking about. The naysayers talk about how it's going to crash massively this time, just like last time. No, this time is different. Yeah, there will be corrections, there will be crashes, but this time is different. We're not seeing a crash on the magnitude of $20,000 to $3,000. We're not going from $200,000 to $30,000. I share my prediction about $200,000. That is on, guys. That is on the lighter end, the more bearish end of this. And so I wouldn't be shocked at all if it went much higher than that. 400,000. I mean, the higher it goes, yes, the more it's going to crash. But these companies, when it gets that hot, this is what I'm saying. Those 1,170 Bitcoin, they're not going anywhere. They will hold throughout the 2020s, throughout the 2030s, etc., and beyond. So they share some things in this newsletter, and this article is more of a summary of the newsletter as to what this company's thinking, but it is unbelievably bullish. And so, sorry, I'm looking for, here we go. Roca has a whole section dedicated to explaining why, quote, not investing is the riskiest decision when it comes to the question of should I buy Bitcoin or not. The importance of this section cannot be underestimated because not having a position in Bitcoin is having a position in Bitcoin, and it's not a position you would want to take. Sorry, I'm pumped right now. GameStop, Bitcoin has me going crazy, but I am totally in on this. It's like if you own no Bitcoin, you need to own some. Now, if you're looking for quick profits, lots of cryptos are going to outperform Bitcoin this year. But if you're looking to have a hold in something that you will not be able to buy soon, Bitcoin is where it's at, because honestly, after this year, you're going to have a lot of trouble even finding Bitcoin to buy. I'm telling you. Coinbase, you'll be able to buy some other cryptos on there, but it's going to skip retail and it's going to go directly to institution. Every new Bitcoin that is mined on a daily basis will skip retail and go to institutions, and exchanges will dry up. So not having a position in Bitcoin is having a position in Bitcoin. It's not a position you'd want to take. I am absolutely on board with this. And there's more. But wait, there's more. Galaxy Digital is launching a Canadian ETF tomorrow. Another ETF. And this is just in Canada. So we talked about the ETF, the Canadian, the first ETF that was launched last week or a couple weeks ago, that as a result of that ETF being launched, they accumulated 11,000 Bitcoin. And this new ETF is going to be launched, which means new Bitcoin in storage being held as investors move in the direction of wanting to invest their money into an ETF. And so another ETF is coming. In the United States, if that day happens, it is going to be bullish AF for Bitcoin. It's just the bullish sentiment right now, as we are entering a phase that you will not believe your eyes. We are entering what Plan B on Twitter called the fun phase. There's another thing I'm going to pull up in a second here, in a few minutes. We are entering the fun phase. I don't know where we're going. I have some thoughts I'm going to share with you, but another ETF means thousands of more Bitcoin will be locked up. Another thing here, Indian government open to exploring cryptocurrencies. Finance minister offers new clues about crypto regulation. So this finance minister, I don't know her name, I don't remember it, but all right, Nirmala Sitharaman. She shed some light on upcoming crypto regulation in her country during CNBC TV 18's IBLA Town Hall Friday. I'll summarize this article by saying that she was very cryptic, no pun intended. That she cannot, here's my interpretation of this article, she can't say, hey, we're panicking, we're about to dump massive amounts of our currency into crypto. She can't say that, but she says lots and lots of things that indicate that yes, they are panicking, and they are about to put lots and lots of money into crypto. And therefore, it's not as if we're going to look inwards and say, no, we are not, going to have any of this. There will be a very calibrated position taken. Read between the lines, folks, okay? Read between the lines. She can't say, why can't she say, we're diving headfirst into crypto? Because if she says that, then that's going to create a panic among her people, and they're going to abandon their currency and get into crypto. And so instead, she has to say stuff like this. We're going to take a very calibrated position. In other words, they are in. So India is in. China, there were articles that I wanted to share. China sees the writing on the wall. Okay, the United States seems to not be seeing the writing on the wall. I saw some article that they're selling like 0.72 of a Bitcoin. I don't know why. Just hold on to that, please. But come on. Look for and also I'm going to say this is bullish for XRP, but XRP's price movement has been flat because of their SEC stuff. That's probably a good one to throw some money at, not entirely, but XRP could shoot off like a rocket soon. So keep that in mind. But let's see, another quote. We will have to take a very calibrated position. The world is moving fast with technology. We can't pretend we don't want it. Again, read between the lines. Oh man, we are poised to take off. Yes, 100,000 in April is in play, and we're at 54,000 now. Now, don't rush. I mean, kind of rush, but I'm just gonna stop talking. I don't want to get in trouble here. One last thing I want to talk about. This is. I have a World War Bitcoin Twitter account, but you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't recommend following it. I just use this for the latest on crypto Twitter. And so here's an account that I would recommend checking out. Let me get to it here. Oh, you know what? I just retweeted it. I didn't like it. I'm going to like this. Ecoinometrics. And so I'm really interested in this chart here. Let me make it bigger. So Bitcoin, this is a range, this light blue blob here is a range of, if we were to stay, if we were to go between the, my goodness, the two halvings. This is where you can expect Bitcoin to be on certain dates. This blue line within the blue blob is pretty much like the middle point of where Bitcoin should be based on the averages of the previous two halvings. And so we're very close to that blue line right now. We're a little under it. And I expect for us to remain under it. But my goodness. Sorry, I think I'm done clearing my throat. I'm very sorry about that. But look where we are, April 18th of 2021, $100,000. Maybe we'll be a little bit below that. And look where we are in May 12th of 2021, $387,000. And so, yes, I don't expect us to get there, but I do expect some rapid upwards movement over the next couple of months. And then the thing that's really interesting here, October 17th of 2021, I'm making a note of this. Look at how narrow this window is here for October 17th of 2021. Price prediction of $286,000. If we are between the halvings on that date, there's very little wiggle room. Maybe I don't even think we could possibly be lower. Maybe we could get up to $300,000. So this is by no means saying that Bitcoin will absolutely be around $286,000 on October 17th of this year, but I wouldn't be surprised, okay? So just pay attention to this chart if you want to find it, Ecoinometrics. But I'm telling you guys, these next 2 months are going to be crazy. And, after March 19th, assuming that that's when the GameStop saga is over, a lot of my attention is going to be forced to be placed on Bitcoin. And so where are we going from here? The more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm thinking we are looking a lot like 2013 and less like 2017. Why do I say that? Again, MVRVZ score, if you follow my channel, you know that I'm really big on this. And we didn't bottom out that much with the MVRVZ score. Does that mean we could go lower? Sure, yeah, it means we could go lower. But I mean, all this stimulus stuff, all of the writing is on the wall that we are going much higher as these companies, as these countries are getting in to crypto and to Bitcoin in particular. And so I anticipate that over the next 2 months, this MVRVZ score is going to hit around a score of 10. And does that mean that we have reached the peak of the bull run? No. That means that we are going to have a blow-off double top similar to 2013. So April 8th of 2013, the score peaked at 9.13. Or actually, no, I think April 9th, I can't see the score here, but April 9th, it peaked around closer to 10. And so then Bitcoin corrected. But the thing that I want to point out, yeah, the Z-score went all the way down on July to 0.5. And so, but here's the thing. The price at that time did not, let me see if I can find it here. The price didn't correct all that much. I mean, I want to say it was maybe a 40%, but it wasn't like an 85% correction. I need to look up those numbers. I'm not going to do that right now. It wasn't the kind of correction. It wasn't a crash that was significant enough for people. Here's what I'm going to say. This time around, if this Z-score gets in April or May to 10 or above, do not, and then it crashes like majorly, like 40% or more, do not panic. You're going to be tempted to you're going to panic. But that's not the end. Because November, probably earlier than November, we're going to see a Z-score that ends up being much higher than, or not much higher, we're going to see a similar Z-score. And so that'll be the peak. And that'll be, if you're in this not for the long haul, but for short-term gains, which if you want to do that, by all means do it, then that's around the time where if you see a Z-score going up to 9 or 10 or something, that's around the time that you should start thinking about selling, about a week after that. So I think that's where we're going. We didn't cool off enough, and by all means, does it seem like we are going to be seeing an upward trend here. So follow this if you haven't yet. This is my favorite metric. There's plenty of metrics that I look at, but this is my favorite one, and I think that we are going to see some kind of double top this year. And by double top, I don't mean a double top of 500,000 or something. I mean a top of 100,000, maybe higher than that in May, a correction from there, and then a top of who knows after that, but over 200,000 in my opinion. So that's all I have for today. What an exciting day we have ahead of us. GameStop, Bitcoin. I'm guessing that I'll be making another video sometime today. I don't know what kind of video that is going to be, but man, today is a great day. Oh, today's my dad's birthday. He died a long time ago. He was very old when I was born. You might be blown away by this. My dad, if he was alive today, would be 103 years old. So happy birthday, Dad. I love you. I miss you so much. But otherwise, have a great day and peace out.